lots of family members may not see their family every day. So that's my mission, to go and show them lots of love and make them happy for that day. Yeah. Well, to me, it feels like I have one big family, because when I leave here, and if I do go on vacation, I start missing everybody.
Some of the family members I know, like one of my favorite residents when I first started here was Mr. and Mrs. Jacobs in the high rise. And I used to tease him all the time, and then when he passed away, his family said something about me at their funeral. How much he enjoyed me and stuff like that.
I'm thankful that he sent me here. You know, yeah. I believe, I tell people it's not me, it's God working through me. And this is why. So when I do stuff and I don't know why I've done it, I've always said, no. But I have told people, I said, it's not me. When they say, oh, you're so, I said, please, don't give me the honor. It comes from him. Otherwise, I couldn't be who I am. So I thank the people that I'm with, because they keep it positive. And it shows that I feel like I'm meant to be here. This is my purpose.
My nephew works here, Jason. He goes, hey, I got a place for you. You'd like it here, because he knows me. I worked in the steel industry, getting yelled at all the time. It was never good enough, very unappreciated, but I gave it my all, a lot of time in there, pretty much going nowhere. And I said, well, yeah, check it out. So second shift, I'm like, whatever, I have to get out of here. I'll do it. So I came here, and time went by, and the more it went by, the more I got to meet the people. Pretty cool. I've never been so appreciated in a job ever. Our thing is, they always tell me, oh, Johnny, I really appreciate you though. I'm sorry to bother you. I said, what do you mean bother me? That's my job. But no, I really appreciate you. I'm like, and I appreciate being appreciated. I say that all the time.
It's the residents, for sure. I often tell people I wouldn't work here if I didn't like the people. I love the residents. You can't help but get to know them really well. This is their home, and we spend a lot of time with them here. Sometimes we spend more time with them than their family members do, especially if they're out of state. So we get to know them really well, and I love these people. I worry about them when I'm gone. If I hear they're having a procedure or they're out, I think about them. They make me laugh, I just enjoy them. So it's the residents, but it's also the employees as well, The group I work with in marketing, they're amazing, and I'm not saying that because, I work here, but they're my friends, besides just being my coworkers. And it's not just my department, it's you walk the halls, and I can go through culinary and I can say hi to everybody there, and then I see the, the maintenance people and the floor people, and so it's, the people are definitely what is my favorite thing about working here.
When I'm working, usually I'm singing something, or singing under my breath, or singing, whatever. They've asked me to bring a guitar in for a couple of days for the, and because the Jesuits want, Jesuits like to sing too. So I have a couple of gigs during the week that basically those couple of hours are probably the highlight of my week, where I get to play guitar and 4 or 5 guys, we're all singing along.
I mean, the residents here, like I said, they teach you something new every day. I love to hear about them and their life, and I'm here for them. I love them. They're a big part of my world. When I used to work my old job, I worked with juveniles. They were my world. I miss them, but now I work here, and the residents are my world. And I love to see them. I love to talk to them. I wish I had more time to talk to them, but it feels good to come here and be around them.
I thoroughly enjoy working with the residents here and off campus. I think it's a blessing to see people who have lived a great life, and they come to this point where, they're ready to move on to the next stage of their life, or they're ready to maybe wrap up any outliers that they've had for some years. And so to see them go through that process of getting comfortable with their stage of the stages of where they are is pretty rewarding. Also just being a helping hand. So when you go and bring somebody flowers and they smile, or you bring them a gift and it brightens up their day, it says a lot given the seriousness, or how deep it may feel during that time. And so to lighten the mood or lighten the room is very rewarding, I will say.
I was the go-between, and I made sure that the residents felt as though they were being heard. Tried to be the go-between. I think that was probably my biggest thing that I did around here.
That's significant.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Plus putting in probably over 300 grab bars in the first 6 months this building was open. That was a lot of grab bars.
It's a good feeling. It's a good feeling to care for someone and to get the reaction that I get from them, and it's just a reciprocal thing. And I feel good when I go home, and I enjoy my job. I really do. It's fun.
I treat people how I want to be treated. If I get to that age, I will want somebody to help me. I will want somebody to be understanding. I want somebody to realize something is wrong and I need their assistance. So I just treat people how I want to be treated, coming in and just taking care, just paying attention to their needs.
One client in particular, and he actually reminded me so much of my grandfather, actually. And hearing stories of when he was growing up on the farm and going to Japan, and just hearing and just sitting there listening to him tell stories, it makes my day to hear that, and it makes me feel like I'm talking to my grandfather all over again.
Like, people are very comfortable with coming to me and talking to me about very personal things, and me being able to build those relationships and keep their confidentiality and trust. So nice. It's a family.
I work with a really incredible team, and so some of the things that I do aren't necessarily on the job description. Like I have people, like I said, that don't have any support. So some of the things I do would connect them with spiritual care if they've had a loss. Those kind of things to me probably give me the most joy, when I really can connect and offer a support system that they otherwise would not have, if that makes sense. Yeah. It's the connections, it's the people connections, it's that piece of it, And they become my extended family in some way. They call me on vacation. I don't care. I really, it's lovely. I just love them.
It's in form of love, peace, and encouraging those who are in pain, loving them, taking care of them the way or you or me I would like to be taken care of. That's why I feel so compassionate, taking care to the aged, the sick, knowing today they are the one, tomorrow I am the one. How do I want to be taken care of? Do I want to be loved? Like good environments. That's why I'm so involved in the sick and the aged, because we are here today, tomorrow we don't know.
Well, I love my residents, man. You know what I'm saying? You see them come and go. You know what I'm saying? You get sad when they go. They say you don't get attached to them, but it's hard. It's hard. You've been working with them for so long. You know what I'm saying? So some of them, you get too attached, you get too emotional, but you try not to. But I do. So
I just hope I come in here and just make them happy. I mean, just fill their day. And they get what they need and they laugh. Like, I'll take residents outside too. On nice days, we'll go sit outside for a while. I just do it.
That's nice.
I've numerous times got out of my way. And let me rephrase that. I don't mean gone out of my way. because that's not what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is that if they ask me to do something, I bend over backwards to do whatever I can. I have a family of 7 coming in tomorrow in the Trauma Teen Bistro, and we don't ever do any more than party of 6. But I will tomorrow because their daughter is joining us, and this is one of the residents whose son-in-law is very sick. So she's coming in to join the family. I asked them to come in a little later at 12:30 when lunch is almost over, and we can accommodate that table of 7. But you do it because you would hope at some point, if you're ever in that position, somebody would care for you like that. Or like I said, I attribute it, my mother died at 90 years old. She went to sleep and she died in her sleep, God bless her. But while she was in the hospital for a week after she fell, I made sure that they were just as compassionate as I try to be to my residents here, because it's important.
You get attached, it just happens. So it's like, I look at them like my grandparents, and I look at the daughters as very involved. I look at them like my sisters, because I'm here all the time. So I be like, look, we need this and this and that. And they're like, okay, Alicia, yeah, we just so personally just crossed over from not just work, They're like part of my family, even with the kids, their daughters and stuff. They trust me.
I think one of the hardest things in my life, and something that I'm the most proud of, is working with seniors during the COVID pandemic, and being there for them and being able to answer the call for service and being able to be somebody who could provide hope when they needed it. And I think that we live that not just during a pandemic, but every single day, in what we do and how we serve. And so it's easy for me. It comes from the heart. And it's just who I am and what I believe in and what I value in other people. So it's a very easy mission to live with every day. It just comes naturally.
Another thing I would say that I find really rewarding is being with the residents. And even though I'm not a chaplain, I've been given the trust that a chaplain has just because I'm part of the department. And so I really can form relationships with people. And after being here for 7 years, there's a lot of people that become part of your family here. So I would say those are the things.
Like Connie or whatever, let's just for an example, 99% of the time she'll have a CC Manhattan. But if I make it while she's coming up, she's gonna have wine that day. It's just how it's how it works. So yeah, but for the most part, I know.
I mean, I definitely, the first word that comes to mind is family. I mean, I've been here for, like I said, 9 years, so I feel like I've gone through like all the major life things here. And I've just formed really close bonds. Like I still feel like a couple of the cooks in the kitchen that I worked with are definitely like family. I invited them to my wedding, and family is what comes to mind.
Well, my mother right now is 86, and I treat all my residents just like my mother. Whatever they want me to do for them, I will do it. Whatever they need for me to do, I will do it. I'm there for them in all my ways, whatever they want.
My favorite part would probably be just seeing that the residents are doing okay. And if they're not, then try to get someone that can help the residents out. But the residents really make this job.
You know them well?
I do know them well. I know all of them by name, almost 100 names.
I'm just grateful to come to work each day, to be here at St. Camillus. It's not a job, it's a vocation. And I see that as ministry, regardless of what department you work in, that all of our staff is working with heart. It's a ministry of the heart. So I'm grateful to be here as part of that team.
I started, all my people were in independent living. And over the years, as their needs have changed, I've moved with them. So for the most part, even if they're moving to assisted or to skilled because the relationship is still there. Families have wanted me to continue. And that was especially important during COVID because I had access to the people where the families couldn't. So for a number of my clients who I really was just there for backup emergencies, I became regular visitors and communicating with the family to keep them aware of what's going on.
So my name is Sia Zhang, soon to be Sia Arsenault. I've been here going on 3 years. It'll be 3 years in July, and I work in our home health and hospice department. There's so much of my job that I absolutely adore. I think my favorite part of my job is definitely the residents. You know, it's such an honor and a privilege to be able to serve them. I had a resident who I still really adore. She's gone now, but prior to her passing, she had a friend who was also on hospice. And her friend, you know, towards her end of life, she was declining. And so a lot of my visits were joint visits and helping them celebrate life and eat together and have joy. And then when that other resident had passed, we were able to coordinate an outing with the current resident who was a friend, and we went to her funeral. And it was so beautiful just to see, you know, they had a huge group of friendship that knew each other for many years, so it was so beautiful to have her go to the funeral and celebrate her life and connect with old friends. And that wouldn't have been possible without our foundation, you know, so it's moments like that that it brings a lot of joy to my heart. We really are a family, and we're all connected, you know, through whether you're on campus, you know, out in the community, we're all connected. And it really feels like a family. This is where I belong. It feels like home, and I see this being my forever job, you know, and it's beautiful to be a part of it.
My name is Jenny Zimpel. I work in Revitalize Wellness as our fitness instructor, and I have been here, it'll be 2 years, coming up on 2 years. I feel like I have this passion inside of me for helping others find their journey in movement and finding their journey to live a full, independent, well-rounded, full of wellness life. A story, a resident came and said, you know what, I go to my daughter's cabin up north every year, and I've gone for years and I've never seen the second floor of her cabin. Can you help me get stronger so that I can get up the stairs so I can see the second floor? She was consistent to come in, came in, did exercises, did some classes, and last year she was able to go up and see that second floor of her daughter's cabin. And that's what it's all about. That's what this is all about, is moving with intention to be independent and do the things that you want to do. Enjoy life, be well. You know, some people on a Monday morning, they're like, oh, it's time to get back to the grind, get back to work. I'm waking up in the morning going, I cannot wait to get in. I think part of it is, it's the energy here. It's the energy as soon as you walk in the door. I am honored and blessed to be able to provide those services, be a small part of what is St. Camillus. You know, when I first was hired on, I was reading the mission statement and I got chills because it really aligns with personally what I hope to provide for people. I cannot imagine not being here, not being a part of this community. It's such a huge honor, personally, professionally, and I just feel truly blessed. So.